Chi-Chi,
What's happening?
are the Denver Nuggets about to get swept by the Minnesota Timberwolves?
Yes.
Ah!
Yes, and yes, man. I had a benefit of the doubt after game one. Just saying, they could make, like, the Nuggets could make some slight adjustments on how they play Anthony Edwards. Also, just home court advantage. But after today's match, that just happened a few hours ago, man,
Bro.
that was. I didn't know that they were that rate. I keep repeating it. I thought they were a year away from this. Just the professionalism, the chokehold. You know, they won the last quarter as well. When you thought they were about to, like, Denver were about to make, like, you know, that momentum run that leads into the next game kind of thing? Nah, they made sure they stamped them out, man. It was clinical on how to sweep a team from game two. They showed that in the first round with the Suns. Now they're doing it again with the Nuggets. What's your take, Nathan?
Just quickly, there's so much to talk about. I love these little chill sessions because I love the NBA playoffs. I love the NBA. I saw a tweet today, and it's a bit serious, it's a bit serious, bit funny. And I can't remember who it was, and they're like, "Hold on, are the Suns good?" Because the Timberwolves are about to sweep the Nuggets. How good are the Suns?
Yeah.
Maybe
the
the Suns are good. Just building off that point, and we can talk about that. I'm sure we'll talk about that in the off seasons when we address the Suns. I know Matt Ishbia. There's so much to talk about. Suns owner will be dancing in his house right now. You see his comments about how 26 of the teams in the league would trade their situation for our situation, Phoenix.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, they wouldn't. You're going nowhere. Right now, he's feeling pretty vindicated that the Timberwolves that swept his Phoenix Suns are now about to sweep the best team in the NBA, according to many people.
I was thinking, how bad are the Lakers then?
But like, yes, like it shows. So does that mean the Yeah, I guess, yeah. Yes. It's so complicated, but yes. It's so complicated, but yes. The Lakers, again, as we were saying last week, and look, the Lakers might not blow it up, but it is a real question. Does this show, as you're saying, that they're 3 tiers away from the top? They're not just 1 tier away anymore. If Denver is now the 2nd tier up, they're nowhere near Minnesota. We're not going to talk about the Lakers today. We're going to keep talking about the Timberwolves.
Yes.
This game, man, let's just take a moment. We're chilling here again this week. I got to ask you, I don't want to trash on other sports, but you follow a bit of NFL. I don't.
Yeah.
I can tell you of the sports that I follow. We've got our Aussie rules football, and then soccer I know a lot about. Nothing compares to the drama of the NBA.
Nah.
Nothing compares. It's unfathomable how this can just happen every week. And it's like, oh, surely there'll be a quieter year coming up. No.
Nah.
Never. This is the most dramatic league in the world. It just always delivers.
Yeah.
I just had such a happy day today. Just like that halftime score when they're up 25. The Nuggets were on 35 points at halftime. Crazy. I loved the shockwaves around the NBA community on Twitter and all that. Everyone was stunned. Go on.
That's without Gobert.
That's without Gobert.
That's the thing. Like, Nas Reed came in, fulfilled his role. I was thinking, because, like, we're talking about storylines that are changing, right? We have to redo our top 5 under 25 players, like 25-year-old players. The defensive player of the year, like, of course, Gobert was, like, really doing amazing stuff in game 1. But Nas Reed now coming through and, like, demonstrating that he's bodying Jokic and you know, demonstrates that kind of elite level.
Yeah.
I know, like, they're a number 1 team for a reason. And then who allows the Nuggets, is it GM, to go over to another team? Like, so at the beginning,
is that?
and then just like, immediately, the whole Gobert thing, like, you know, we're going to get Gobert. That's the only thing that can stop.
Yeah.
He knew beforehand.
So for people that aren't aware, Tim Connolly was, I don't have the years with me or in front of me, but Tim Connolly was the Nuggets GM. And essentially, he built this Nuggets team. He was there when they brought in Aaron Gordon and all that. So that's the final touch on this Nuggets team. He built this Nuggets team, and then a year ago, he went to the Timberwolves. And then today, anyway, it's just, as you're saying, when they showed him on the TV today, TNT, I think I heard another podcast saying the same thing. I think we all just were watching this. It's like, you're looking at like a mastermind. It's like, imagine sitting in that arena today thinking, I built both these teams. I built the Nuggets, and I wasn't there for the chip. I don't think he was there for the... Yeah, he wasn't. I wasn't there for the chip, but I essentially built that team. And now look at the team that I built to come and beat this team in this arena. Tim Connolly, massive power move. He's probably like, yeah, what do you want? And as you're saying, the Rudy Gobert trade, this will be the ultimate turnaround, not from... I know you like to say that you loved it and all that.
Yeah.
But this will be the ultimate turnaround in narratives from all the media and us. I'm so happy and stunned with what we saw today. It was unreal.
What Nuggets have to do? Well, first of all, they're just out of gas. But if they were to do something, I would say they need to remove KCP from guarding Anthony Edwards. I like that Justin Holiday kid. I know he came on, but he's too raw for this moment.
No, but he's not a kid. That's the thing.
Really?
Nah, he's not getting better. That's the thing. He's not young. He's one of the Holiday brothers. They all been in the league for a while.
I thought that was just coincidence.
Yeah. No. He's not a kid. So I understand what you're saying there, and maybe they can make that adjustment. He made some buckets today. He made some buckets, but
he's not built for long minutes.
Yeah, KCP is the best ant defender they've got. They're fucked. They're fucked. They're gone. This is insane. This is the Nuggets. There's so much to say here, though. I don't want to just trash the Nuggets, because they are the Nuggets. And it's not totally out of the picture that they come back to Denver 2-2. You know that?
No, I don't know that.
You don't know that?
No, I don't know.
It's not totally out. They are the reigning champs. We were so sure that, they're one of the favourites, if not the favourite, to win it before Ant turned into a superstar. I think that they do have it in them to do this. I don't think they will. But they do have it in them. We shouldn't be too surprised if they go and... be like, if after game 3, we're like, oh shit, yeah, this is the Nuggets. We've remembered now. This is the Nuggets.
Well, I don't, because all the injuries are now building up on the Nuggets.
This is one of the main factors. It's the Murray thing.
The Murray, but also everybody else.
Yeah,
now.
Jackson and KCP.
And it was because of how the refs let away a lot. Like, there was so few. I thought Jokic should have been called for more fouls, like when shooting when he was shooting his shot, etc. But they were getting bodied, and subsequently, these guys got battered and bruises and needed to see the locker room early. Yeah,
but the incompetence. That's a good segue into maybe the crux of. We'll get back to the Timberwolves, but the crux of the Nuggets' incompetence. Everyone was talking about it. It wasn't just us on the show last week, but on the show last week, we were saying, Denver, Jamal Murray hit those game winners against the Lakers, but he's not playoff Murray.
No.
He's not. And I said last week, for them to beat, I'm pretty sure, I don't know if I said the Timberwolves, but for them to go all the way, they must have playoff Murray. It's one of the integral parts of it. Him and Jokic, of course. So they keep saying he's got a calf thing. I'm not saying he doesn't have a calf thing. It's curious, some of these injuries, because similar to Joel, right? Sometimes Joel, he said, I can't jump. And then some moments he looks like he's fully healthy. The knee's fully healthy. He can do anything. You can do a full-on Euro dunk, like Euro step into a slam.
It's in the moment. Moment.
That's it. And there's some moments where I swear Jamal Murray looks the same. Whatever. Let's give him the credit. He's injured. And if he just can't get to playoff Murray from last year, then they will get swept. Because it would be so hard.
Well, that's what happened last time when Murray was injured. The Nuggets were nowhere.
Yeah, and he was and Jokic did so well to carry them as far as he did when Murray was out.
Yeah.
But even just this level Murray, this is the non-All-Star Murray. He's never made an All-Star team. I heard Kevin O'Connor going on about, he doesn't get in shape till the All-Star game, all these sort of things. Okay, that's fine. He gets the last laugh last year when he wins the title.
Yeah.
So he doesn't ever... No player actually has to make the All-Star game because that's not when the title happens.
Exactly.
But if you're not going to be ready or if you're going to be injured now, as the Clippers and the Sixers know, the Clippers know, this is the wrong time to not be fully fit. That is the biggest incompetence of the Nuggets. But that out the way, Jokic...
I don't think he's on it.
Jokic today, especially, first game he sort of just tried, you know what I mean?
Mm.
Today, what's wrong with him? And you said they look gassed, he looked gassed, and he's the last couple of years he's been super fit, even against the Lakers. Yeah, how bad are the Lakers? Today in that second half, he was lumbering. He's like, fuck me. He only put up 13 shots. 13 shots.
Look, the stat line itself was like, hey, this ain't bad, but watching it, it wasn't.
Nah, yeah, that's bad.
It was messy, man.
That's bad.
It was real. So many dumb turnovers as well. Not passive.
Yeah.
That's the thing as well. He's so passive. And I don't know, I call it the LeBron fuck you 3 or whatever. His version, Jokic's version is ultimate because, he's the way he moves.
Yeah.
Full shot of the rim. Shows that he has not enough legs on him. Shows that he's been bodied by everybody. The bodies that they've been putting on him. And they pick him up early. It's not like they allow him to dribble up the court. Like, I know, for example, Murray will be the person to pick up the ball. But anytime Jokic wants to do that quick inbound pass, whatever, they immediately bang. Physically bump him. And then he's passes it off immediately because he's like, oh, I can't do my little, full court press or, coast to coast.
But overall, he's comfortably, we got to the point, especially with, it's unfortunate all these injuries, but we got to the point about a week ago, or even the last couple of months, where the whole NBA community, Jokic is the best player in the NBA, head and shoulders, comfortably.
Yep.
And you lost game 1 at home, your back's against the wall, you got to come out and put in a big performance, and the best player in the NBA, head and shoulders, best player in the NBA. Yes, okay, it's like one of those fucking Westbrook stat lines. 16 points, 16 rebounds, 8 assists. Okay, 5 of 13. You've got to put up more than 13 shots. When Murray doesn't have it, there's no time to waste.
Yeah.
If you lose this game, you're gone.
Yeah.
They're gone.
He should have known.
I didn't bother looking up or hearing any stats. But I know that teams, it's crazy, but teams that go up 2-0 on a series are something like 70 or 80% all time.
Really?
Even if you're home.
Wow.
That's how big the home advantage for the first 2 games is. If you're home if you go up overall 2-0 in a series, teams win 80% of the time or something like that. Wow. Around there. I know that's the stat. Now imagine going 2 up in a series and now you're going home.
Yeah.
As we talked about before, or whatever, Minnesota are going to get minimum 1. They're going to get, you probably think they get...
Sorry, minimum 1.
1 win in Minnesota.
Oh, minimum. Yeah, minimum.
Minimum 1. We're going back to Denver if we are 3-1 minimum.
Yeah.
We're either getting a sweep here or we're getting a 3-1.
I think it's a sweeper, yes.
And a 3-1 is 2-0 and 3-1 are nearly as impossible as 3-0, especially with this Murray thing. The champs are pretty much out.
Yeah.
They're out, bro.
They're out. They haven't... I'm looking at where they're going to find energy from. Again, that's why I love the professionalism of the Wolves. When they were trying to go through random stuff in that third quarter, they found a little bit of spark, trying to get but as soon as the fourth quarter came in, they said, nah, we're squashing that.
Yeah.
squashing that emphatically, man. Oh, and there was no momentum to be seen. So
And like that was their highest scoring quarter, the Nuggets. As you're saying, it felt like there was a sniff. They got it down to 19, I think.
yeah,
They got it down to 19.
19 was the sniff. Can you imagine?
And they won that third quarter 25-21. So that's still not a fucking good quarter. That's not the quarter you need.
No.
If you're going to make a comeback from a 30-point deficit, you need like a 12-point win in a quarter. And that was their highest scoring quarter, 25.
And then the last quarter was 20-24.
Yeah. So
I felt just more
Nuggets
emphatic.
first quarter, this is their quarters. 20, 15, 25, 20. They finished with 80 points. I don't know what their offensive rating is, but I can tell you they are
not anywhere near that.
they are one of the most, if not the most efficient, especially 2-point scoring team in the league. They're the reigning champs. For me, they were the best team. They are the best team. I still think they are the best team. I don't know what the fuck's going on. Are the Timberwolves the best team in the league? No. Is that what we're getting at?
And do we even say the Jokic throne? How imagine if Giannis was healthy, they pet paces. Then they get to the Eastern Conference Finals, for instance. Mm-hmm. Then we'll have this whole crown debate again. Mm-hmm. I thought it was lock. I thought it was thought. I guaranteed Jokic lock this year. Guaranteed.
And because Giannis was not healthy for the playoffs, I think Jokic just keeps the crown.
Yeah. Crazy. Right. But even with this series,
well, who gets not Ant? Ant's not the best player in the NBA.
Do we look what happens? The storyline's prevailing. Does Luka?
Actually, yeah, maybe.
Luka found it again. No, he found it again. I know he was playing poor in the first maybe 3 games.
He's got a sore knee. That's the thing about him. He found how to shoot without jumping.
Oh, really?
Yeah, this is what this is. I don't know. This fucking injuries really sucked this year, but he can do that because he doesn't need much lift. He doesn't jump much anyway with his shot. And so my perspective is in that game, he just sort of and they were saying he was warming up shooting without jumping. Oh, really? And so he just got a bit comfortable, and then he's like, "Oh yeah, I
figured it out.
I figured out how to shoot with my arms."
What a guy.
But yes, I didn't think of that. Luka, maybe Luka takes the crown, but he would have to win the championship.
Yeah, that's
That
it's
might happen.
all open now.
That might happen.
It's crazy.
It's insane. And that's a good point, though, of how even the NBA is currently, and the whole second apron thing and all this sort of stuff. As good as the Nuggets, it feels weird because everyone's been so caught up with the Nuggets' dominance and in love with the Nuggets for these last 18 months or nearly 2 years. Yeah. But no, the Nuggets aren't the Warriors from their dynasty. The Nuggets aren't even the Heatles. No. The Nuggets aren't any of those. It'll take a very big and very smart team construction to get anywhere near like the Warriors ever again. We probably won't ever get a team like that Warriors team ever again. That is probably forever going to be the best team ever. Another team won't be better than that. What I'm trying to say is, as I said, it sounds a bit rich, all the podcasts, including us right now, and the media starting to pick on the Nuggets and being like, oh, well, this was all, the bench all along was a problem. This was all along a problem.
No.
It's not about this was all along a problem. It's just that Jokic's crown, as we've talked about, as the best player in the NBA, wasn't as immovable as LeBron's.
Yep.
As we've talked about in the past. Neither was Giannis's. We're not in a time right now yet. We'll see with Wemby and Ant and all that.
Yep.
But we're not in a time where your LeBron, your Kobe, your MJ, whoever, just hold the crown and or where the Warriors, the Heatles, the Spurs just hold the crown. The Nuggets and Jokic are so good, and they will go down in history. He's about to get given third MVP this week. They're going to go down in history, but we're in a time of so much talent. It's so great.
Yeah.
There's so much talent around the league, and the second apron thing and the cap and the way it all works is that if Murray has a calf injury and Jokic is a bit gassed, the best player and the best team can have their legs taken from under them. And that's what we're seeing. The Timberwolves, when I'm having a debrief with my dad today, and he just like, I tell him what happened.
Yeah.
And he goes, oh, was it that kid again, Ant? And I said, not really. Like, as much as Ant and Cat did what they had to do today,
Yeah.
I said, the Nuggets had 35 points at halftime. I said, I was because he doesn't know much about it at all, but I was like, there's this guy who's about to get given his 4th Defensive Player of the Year. He was at home.
Yeah.
And then everyone was like, oh, shit, the Nuggets are going to eat up the Timberwolves today. And then the Timberwolves defense, without their 4-time decoy, fucking swarmed up the Nuggets. This league is unbelievable.
Talking about that, my brother and I, before the game, were like, man, you have to plan these things. What are you doing 9 months before?
Yeah, I know, yeah.
What are
I
you
thought about that as
doing?
well.
What are you doing? My brother's like, you strap that thing up for 2 months, bro.
That's right.
That's the life of the NBA, man. I don't know. Like, that's an L. And then you got to miss the baby's birthday every time?
Yeah.
Oh, you got to be flying back? Nah, man.
Well, yeah, I was thinking about that as well. And actually, on that note, I remember, have you seen the quote from Aussie Rules football legend and legend coach Lee Matthews?
Okay.
He coached Brisbane to 3 premierships in the start of the 2000s.
Okay, yep.
And I don't know when the quote came out, but someone said that Lee Matthews, the coach, so AFL football finals are in September, the 9th month.
Yeah.
He used to say, no sex in December. To the players, or like no whatever.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he said no sex in December.
Yeah.
Like whatever, because you're not having a baby in September. You cannot be having a baby at the time of the finals.
Just go bare things, man.
Honestly, I mean, you can't these days, especially. You can't interfere like that, or you can't say such a thing. But
serious, like you're professional, man.
yeah, professional.
This is a very once-off in a.
But I did hear the guys from the Mismatch on the podcast earlier, and I don't think this has too much substance. They spent a good 5-10 minutes on. Did this whole, not on purpose, but did this whole Rudy absence
Mess up.
catch the Nuggets off guard?
Mess up.
Because after game 1, the Nuggets are all like, fuck, we're going to work out, we're going to scheme to get around Rudy. Mm-hmm. And then they start this game and No Rudy.
I think no.
Nah.
I'm leaning no.
I don't think so.
The reason why is because I didn't see Jokic be aggressive. Because you saw what Gobert was doing. He was in between.
Yeah.
He was playing
Aaron Gordon, yeah.
Yeah, Aaron Gordon. So he was able to get those, when he was able to, when Jokic was able to pop it up for the alley-oop.
Yeah.
Gobert was able to swat. I just needed to see a bit more of an aggressive Jokic, and that didn't really show up today.
With Towns guarding him, and with they inserted Cole Anderson into the lineup, you would think that Jokic, especially with Murray's hindrance, you'd think that he'd go crazy.
I don't blame him, just because I'm getting old on how you cannot be so aggressive. It's just exhausting because they're bodying you every time, even when you get a moment. Like, you can see it on the TV. It's like, oh, you've got a moment. And this is the moment to take. But you're so mentally drained from all the previous stuff.
No, bro. This is crap.
Hey, this is for me, as I get older, I appreciate.
This is crazy.
I appreciate, like, hey, these guys go.
Any other player not being aggressive and you're like, he's weak or something.
No. I'm just saying a general statement. But no,
this is his job. And this is what he's supposed to do. And the worst part is it's what he's capable of.
Yeah.
We're not out here watching, I don't know, you name the
VFL.
We're not out here watching like Hassan Whiteside. I don't know why that comes to my mind.
Yeah.
We're not here
We're
doing
talking
that.
about
We're the best player in the NBA. His guy's hobbled. We've seen him do it before. We've seen scorer Jokic.
Yeah.
We've seen crazy aggressive Jokic. He does what he has to do.
And this is where he didn't really take this regular season serious, or he's just that good, or is it just his playing style makes him look lazy? And then because this practice makes perfect.
Yeah.
Should he be going for 40 every game like Embiid? and then not demonstrated in the
Wow.
in the playoffs. I'm starting to ask a question in this. Take it easy in the regular season. I know he's naturally skilled. I know he wants to distribute the ball, blah, 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 blah. But how often did he practice?
No, I think
him getting his.
I mean, he's gonna get given MVP. He's about to win it. I think he was aggressive enough in the regular season, but what you're saying here, this brings me to. I said this to you last week. I know they beat the Lakers in 5. But the one game they lost, I come here and I'm like, when the Nuggets lose, it's not. It's just because they run good plays and then they just miss.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. And they seem to look like Jokic, all of them. Jokic, Murray, MPJ, Gordon, every single one of them. They're all like, well, we made the right play and we just missed. You know what I mean? We tried. We did some good stuff and it just didn't work. Again, coming back to this team isn't the 96 Bulls. This is not the 2018 Warriors or whatever. This team is just a really smart team and they read the defense, what it's going to give them, and then they make the play and make the shot. Whereas like what they've faced right now is this youngish Wolves team that has... I think Ant's more of a killer than anyone on the Nuggets. You know what I mean? Ant's a killer. And then the defense of the Timberwolves, especially today, it happens that teams are more motivated than teams that have done it before. You get a little bit fatigued of winning almost.
Yeah.
So this Nuggets team that just runs smart plays and just plays efficiently have just hit this roadblock of grit, aggression, defense, and this young killer. And it's there to be, they can be taken like that. But I don't think it is a knock on Jokic, but this is the Jokic experience, I think. Today was a letdown, but I would be surprised if he doesn't
show it once.
Doesn't go crazy. Even if they lose, I'd be surprised if he's not like going crazy for his standards in the next couple games. Today was a dud from him, but this is the Jokic experiences. The experience is what I'm trying to say.
Okay. No, that's it.
Whereas like Embiid and whatever, Giannis, they're trying to kill you at all times, and then Embiid can go into his shell a little bit. On that note. No, we won't touch on the Sixers or anything for the moment. Let's talk about the Timberwolves a little bit more. I just want to say that talking about like roster building and all this sort of stuff, like Daryl Morey of the Sixers has a total blank canvas around Embiid and Maxey this offseason. And one thing that we've always lacked in the Embiid era is like guys who are athletic, great on defense, who can shoot, all this sort of thing. Jaden McDaniels.
Oh, no.
Nickeil Alexander-Walker.
Oh, no.
These bodies, man. You're Josh Hart. And you're getting a bit smaller here, but you're Josh Hart, you're DiVincenzo. Just go, like, if anyone, this is the playoffs of learning what role players you should be getting in 2024.
Yep.
If any GMs are watching this playoffs, and I know you all are, I hope that you're out there thinking about overpaying for some of these types of role players.
I think this season or this off season and the next 2 off seasons, people are overpaying for role players. Like the Orlando need them. Your 76ers need them. Cavs with their whole switch up, because those guys will be coming, Garland and all that will be going up in age, but they also need something, really, really need something to dig deep. Houston Rocket potentially, but maybe those guys might be locked into a bit of a longer contract.
Yeah.
But continue.
Your Tobias Harris's, your, I don't know, Tobias Harris. Your Tobias Harris's, your...
D'Lo?
Your D'Los, that's a good one. Your D'Los, these sort of players,
No longer.
they are good for the regular season. But do you mean business in the playoffs? Because if you mean business in the playoffs, you go out there and you go get players who, okay, maybe they don't have as much of a smoother regular season bag and they may not seem as talented, but you go get long, athletic, rebounding, defense, shooting players. That's the recipe.
No, but that's too hard to find.
Well, you find them because the
find
Timberwolves have got 10 of them. The Timberwolves, I mean,
Yeah.
Kyle Anderson's slow-mo and whatever else. But McDaniel, to that trade to go get... Okay, so you got your Rudy. But that trade to bring in Nickeil Alexander-Walker to bolster up with McDaniels and Nickeil Alexander-Walker today.
Crazy.
They're swarming.
So are their contracts up? Is that what you were trying to imply? Or
No. I'm just saying, like, I know there's not many of them, but find them. Daryl, I'll talk from my team. Find them. You've got a blank canvas. Find those types of players. Find your... Whatever. Obviously, you can't find the exact identicals, but there's got to be some out there. Do we really know that Josh Hart and Nickeil Alexander-Walker could be like this until now, right? Find those guys who maybe they're on a Portland like Josh Hart.
OG Anunoby.
Find these guys that are on these teams, or Hardenstein, that are on these teams that it's like you can just see a glimpse of playoff necessity or traits.
Yeah.
Don't go out and get Tobias Harris is averaging 20 points a game on a team that's fucking on the fringe of the playoffs.
That's why I don't like, what's his name? LaMelo.
Yeah. Yeah. But that's star player.
He's a...
He's a loser.
I want to say he's a loser. Like, he's never been from a winning culture.
He's on a... Let's give him a moment.
That's why I really like this Brandon Miller guy.
Yeah.
You know, for all the controversy and all that jazz. But when he came in there, he's like, no, I'm going to win. I've never seen somebody so much more impactful on their team. He's the one that's got to take Charlotte to the promised land.
Yeah. So I just got to shout out the praises to as big as Anthony Edwards, as big as the Anthony Edwards story is, and it definitely is. They wouldn't be where they are and maybe going to win the championship now without the rest of that team.
Yeah.
Cat is really found his spot on this team. And yes, they did. It looks like the Gobert thing is working out. But getting those players like Kyle Anderson, Mike Conley, Nickeil Alexander-Walker to pair with already, and Ant is also defensive, to pair with your McDaniels, man.
It's crazy.
It's just, I'm just watching this and I'm like, I've never seen the Sixers. I've never seen them like that. You know, getting like these Al Horford, the Danny Green and all this. Okay, Danny Green could shoot and stuff like that, but all these guys are soft. This is why we lost. If we're going to quickly touch on the Sixers Knicks. Well, we lost because we're just soft.
Mm-hmm.
The Knicks and their rebounds are insane. Josh Hart is insane.
Did it again. Averaging 12.3 rebounds.
They stole that game today. Okay, controversy aside.
Bullshit ending.
Bullshit ending. They stole that game, but he had like, what did he have? Like 6 rebounds in the last quarter? I don't know, but
it's crazy.
When it came to the clutch, him and DiVincenzo and Brunson, that's when they turned on the Knicks grit.
Mm-hmm.
You need, and we see it year after year from your team, the Miami Heat.
Yes, sir.
And these teams that go far in the playoffs, as we move into this future where the super teams can't carry you and the second apron and all that, you need to have your one or two guys, one or two pure talent, and then around them,
dogs.
You got to have your dogs. You got to have your dogs. And the Timberwolves, man, are full of defensive dogs. Quickly on, I guess we'll just touch on Knicks Sixers and then go into the Knicks Pacers and all that.
That was crazy. That game, what a game! Like to follow that one and then that game afterwards. I thought it was going to be the preface because I don't think we chatted about it. It was going to be a game of war in terms of which offense or which style of play will win. The fast-paced Pacers or the slow-down Knicks, grit and grind kind of thing with Bronson, dribble, and then they just crashed the offensive glass. It was kind of even. The way that Knicks won was just with the fast breaks, the transition D, had 0 of it, and then Josh Hart, their role players stepping up. I know Brunson scored 40+. I know that. But I liked how they played Brunson. I really do. I don't think you play him any differently. I just think you really need to make sure, get a body on Hart, man.
It's hard.
Just get a body.
It's hard though, bro. This guy's small. That's the thing about him.
Big boy though.
Yeah, but
he's slim.
he's 6'4". This is he's. I reckon it might be impossible to get a body on him. I know the Sixers are a bad rebounding team, but I reckon it might be hard because it's not like he's bigger, and therefore he's easier to get a body. You can find him easier. Yeah. He's not running from the perimeter. All these sort of things. He just runs from the perimeter.
Yeah, and then the momentum and he can't do anything.
Yeah, and then, once the ball's in the air, if someone's running with a head start, it's hard to box out.
Yeah.
Anyway, but I'm sure there's some teams that can work it out. I don't think the Knicks... Do you think that there's any bubbles around... You think the Celtics are going to the finals 100%? There should be.
Celtics, yeah, definitely.
There should be, yeah.
Definitely.
We're going to have to see if this Porzingis... He won't play in the second round. We're going to have to see if the Porzingis thing makes a difference against the Cavs.
It shouldn't. It shouldn't make a difference. Porzingis, maybe, if they've... I'm just prefacing, I don't know if they're going to play the Knicks or not, but I'm just assuming the Knicks will go through. I'm still 50-50 on that because we didn't get the ending I wanted for that game, and I thought it was kind of even apart from the fast break / rebounding issues.
If the Pacers win this series, I think it's just because the Knicks run out of legs. But it doesn't look like they'll run out of legs.
They have some super juice, man.
Yeah. I don't know. Josh Hart another 48 today. Minutes.
That's crazy.
I don't know how they keep doing it.
Fresh at the end.
Yeah. I don't know how he does it. But at the same time, I don't know if it was him or them. The dialogue has been circling that they were like, we've been doing this all year. But
nah, man.
This is
finite energy, man.
Yeah, like at what point, to what end is this? Because we're always taught that it comes to an end, and you see other teams grinding down to dust. When is Hart and Brunson, whatever, especially those two? When are they going to just? I know it's not like overtime or double overtime, but I'll never forget that Kevin Durant against the Bucks when he was taking him on by himself in that Game 7, the toe on the line game, and his final shot of the game, just a pure air ball because he had nothing left. And I know that's overtime and he probably played the whole game and he was carrying them by himself. But when are we going to start to see fucking Brunson and Hart not be able to jump anymore?
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's Brunson's style, sort of like the Luka style. Like, he kind of looks a bit tired, like, not really jumping like crazy, but it just works. So he's able to conserve that energy. But Hart needs energy. Hart, like that, to be consistently doing that, it's bloody impressive.
Yeah.
And entertaining to watch.
So I still think that the Celtics are just going to walk through the East. Pretty much. It really does feel like that. Even the Knicks, who might be I don't know with these Knicks, Cavs, and Pacers, but it feels like the Celtics should walk through the East. Who you got right now for the title? Timberwolves.
Yeah, I got Timberwolves. I have money on Timberwolves.
Yeah. We
talked even last week. You remember, it's like, who do you have? Wolves or Nuggets? We all said the Wolves. I thought we were going to get laughed.
I don't think I had said the Wolves.
Me and Rai said it.
If I did, if we did that, I would have said the Nuggets.
The only thing I don't like about this Wolves thing is that all the Laker fans are Wolves fans.
Yeah.
I was like, bro, again, you get away?
Get away. As you saw in the group chats, I just want, because of my hatreds, the Lakers are out, first assignment. I need Celtics not to win. And on that note, that's what I've been saying to you. I am scared that the Nuggets might be the only team with enough pedigree to beat the Celtics.
No. Wolves can do it. I'm confident on that.
Because you have to address at least that, okay, the Wolves are really good, but they are built to beat the Nuggets in terms of matchups.
Yeah.
There's a very high chance, I believe, that the whole Rudy getting played off the floor will be very apparent against the Celtics. They've literally got 5 out. Who does
No, but they don't need to rely on that as much. Rudy's was it game one? Rudy was actually on the outskirts on one of them, and that people was it Michael? Yeah, MPJ
But if Porzingis just sits 35 feet away and he's a deadly shooter, I'm talking obviously he's back.
yeah.
If Porzingis just sits 35 feet away and Rudy has to just stand there with him,
It's gonna be different.
then there's no Rudy in there.
Then why?
And then Tatum, Brown, Drew Holiday, Derek White. And then that's the other part. Who the hell does Cat guard in that series? And he will get smoked by anyone. If they send him to, it sounds like they send him to Tatum. Tatum against Cat.
No. I think do you even switch that with Gobert?
Yeah. I don't know.
Weird.
I don't know. I'm scared. I'm so scared, man. I can't handle the thought of the Celtics winning it. And as I said, I feel like the Nuggets.
Got anxiety, ladies and gentlemen.
I do, man. I can't. I'm just so scared that we're heading for. This is all playing out the way the Celtics need it. I reckon the Nuggets were the only team that could have beaten the Celtics.
Well, for me, I feel like it's about time the Celtics win it.
Bro, I don't want them to ever win
how many years have they been up there? It's
I know.
Just for me, it's more like about damn time. You're supposed to do this 3 years ago.
No, they can't win it ever again. I don't want them to win it ever again. But, all right. Well, who's maybe the Timberwolves for you? But give me your rankings of Celtics beaters out of the West.
I also have the Mavericks, just because of their relentlessness on offense. I don't think it's sort of like the Clippers situation. I don't trust Celtics when it comes to crunch time that they have that ice cold vein in them, whereas Kyrie Irving and Luka Doncic do, and they're always coming. Always you have to always put up points. Celtics is a bit compared to the Clippers, much more proficient at doing that, but they have with the Heat situation last year. They can just disappear from time to time. So I do have that factor. I don't think they'll match up Celtics. OKC doesn't match up well. So I think, it's only the two for me, Wolves and Mavs, or apart from Nuggets. But even Nuggets. I don't like this Nuggets.
And what about the potential... let's talk about the jersey you're wearing now.
No. I to be honest, I need to see how they perform with this Mavs. As I said,
I understand that they could be the classically young team. They're the youngest one seed ever. I understand they could be the 100%. Classic young team that just gets dealt with easily, but
they've shown.
I reckon there's also a good chance that they could even win the title.
No.
I think everyone's just sleeping a little bit too much on the Thunder. They've got. You talk about ice.
I am sleeping.
Ice cold guy. They've got sleeping. Ice cold Shea.
Yeah.
They are very young and immature, but they're very well built, man.
Nah, they're not.
I've seen them when I was regular season. The Celtics didn't have a great record against the best West teams. I've seen them beat the Celtics.
You reckon?
I've seen them this regular season. I just think that the way it all shook out with the injuries and with, I don't know, maybe talent disparity in general. Looking back in hindsight, in terms of best teams in the league, the Celtics, and then 6 of the teams from the West.
Oh, yeah.
If we did the thing where, if we did the thing that people sometimes bring up, this is a good year to bring it up. Mm-hmm. Don't just do conference, and then crossover only for the finals. Crossover according to whatever, the higher seeds and stuff. I think we'd be left with a final, the second round would have 8 teams of 7 West, 1 Celtics.
Yeah.
That's the playoffs we've had so far.
For sure.
Including the Knicks. As good as they've been, I think even the Knicks might have even, I don't know if the Knicks would have even beaten the Suns. Now looking back on it,
we don't know.
How good do the Suns look now?
Yeah. No, but I think the playing style. Yeah, for sure. But I think just because of they don't have any big bodies, whereas Knicks have big bodies, and those are the traits that we're talking about as what GM should be looking for. But yeah, for sure, they because of the situation that we're in now about the sweep potential. Yeah,
it's the NBA has never been better, and when you think it's reached its peak, it just peaks again and again and again.
Well, the issue is, this is for casuals. They don't know Ant. They don't know who's in the finals.
But they know him now.
Nah.
And by now they know him. Casuals.
Casuals.
We're gonna you want to get him on the wall.
It's all the old generation. It's just crazy.
Nah, but it's this was the year officially where we changed the guard.
You remember I was 2 years early for that.
You were way too early
I can't believe it.
when you called it.
Now I remember what we have to speak. Where do we put Jar on this list? That, you know how I brought up Tatum? Where are we putting Jar on the list of all these young guys? Because Jar's it's just a good conversation. You know, because he hasn't been able to show up in this prime time. Showed up last year, but it was like with a broken
he wasn't playing.
Oh, sorry, 2 years ago with the broken hand.
Yeah, but he wasn't playing this year. We got to give him that.
Yeah,
he wasn't playing. Anyway, that's for another week. But the NBA is just unreal. So Timberwolves from here, Nuggets.
Yeah, Timberwolves got him as a sweep, but
Sweet.
you know, 5-1, whatever, 4-1 don't matter.
And then you think Mavs over Thunder?
I think Mavs over the Thunder. You think?
I would pick no. I would pick Mavs. I'm just saying that.
Yeah, we're
I think everyone's sleeping on the Thunder.
No, I can.
I wouldn't be stunned, and no one should be stunned. Every year, even no one should be stunned if the number 1 seed Thunder win that series.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't be surprised.
You know what I mean?
I wouldn't be surprised at all. But then I still have the Wolves. But I wouldn't be surprised. Like, forgive me, I wouldn't be surprised.
And then even that would be a good series. The Thunder against Timberwolves.
2 grand finals back to back. That's crazy. Because that's, for me, that's what we're talking about, no? Like the top of the cream of the crop.
That's the fucking scary part, because these West teams are all beating each other up, and then
Celtics are so fresh.
If the Celtics just walk to the finals, I'm scared. I'm scared of that happening.
I think Tatum's got like a little bit of a bum ankle or something like that. I was even saying strap him up for 2 games.
Yeah.
Just leave him for the 2 games against Celtics, then turn it on.
Yeah, that's
Anyway.
it. I feel like there's unlimited topics to talk about, but let's wrap it there.
Celtics, Cavs, obviously Celtics, and then
Celtics, Cavs. I'm dreaming inside me of like the Cavs doing something, but they won't.
Yeah. Now what we'll do later on is we'll have a regular, playoff award night for those guys, and then we just have to talk about what's next for all these teams, because this is just wide open. The league's never been better.
Yeah, it's so good. It's so good. Today was of course we're talking after game 2 of Nuggets Timberwolves. Today was unreal. Today was one of those days where I was just like, the NBA is the best. The NBA is the best. Like, just I wish I could scream it to the whole, like, I follow so many sports, whatever. As I said, is the NFL this good? It can't be.
It's only good because of the once a week, like everybody can tune in. Blah blah, but it's not.
It can't be this dramatic.
Nah. It's not.
The amount
because
that
it's personality based, it's people based.
You think that like the Bucks in 2021, you think, they're gonna own it. You think that the Warriors are back. You think that the Lakers are gonna own it. You think that the Suns are gonna own it. The Timberwolves come out of nowhere. Wembanyama is born. You know what I mean? And how big is that loss? Denver's lost to Spurs at the end of the season to lose the number 1 seed. Is what it is.
Yeah. Because they could have rested Murray more so. Blah.
You just never know with how some of these things shake out. The NBA is so good. I love it. We love it. So good. All right. I feel like there's so much more to talk about, but I can't think of. Knicks Sixers.
The ending?
I don't know. Do we take a moment? Just quickly, how good was that Maxi thing? Just let's do that for me. How good was that Game 5 Maxi 7-point swing to tie it up?
Yeah, that was huge.
That was unreal. That shot. Unfortunately, now it doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, I'm like, that's a decade ago, man. You're living in like some fairy tale. Man's in Cancun. Like
Oh, talking about that. Pat Bev. Is he ever going to be in the league again?
No. He'll definitely get fined. And I'm surprised the whole ESPN...
It's not just fined. Do you think...
He'll get fined and he'll be...
He was on a vet minimum.
Nah,
do you think he'll ever be in the league again?
He'll be on the league, but he'll get a suspension. He'll get a suspension for sure.
The media and Twitter and that was pretty angry with him. I got a feeling, bro, he might not be in the league again.
Like, I think if it was the old guy, Dave Stern or whatever, would have, yep, that's your last contract. Nice knowing you, blah, blah, blah. But I think too many people want Pat Bev.
I don't know how many do, man.
Because of vet minimum. Vet minimum is vet minimum.
Yeah, but he's not... See, he brings grit, but he doesn't bring real effect. He's not like a Conley or a Lowry, and he's also not an Oubre. He's not any of these things that we're talking about from your role players.
It's sort of like a dog that barks loudly, but no bite.
And like he does just enough.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But like, if you really got a championship team or whatever, or a proper team, that's why the Bucks were never winning it when they got him.
You saw Giannis behind. He was like, he shook the Pacers fans' hands.
Oh, I do.
After, yeah. Like, he was like, what the hell is that?
I don't know. I understand, like, insults and that. Like, don't be taking insults. Like, you shouldn't have to take insults if you're a player.
Yeah.
But...
Nah.
You got to know. You got to know what's wrong.
That was so, like, okay, you did it once, but then to do it again, like, it was so dumb.
And talking about...
the podcast.
Yeah, the podcast situation.
Right.
And talking just quickly to wrap up, let me just get some vindication here. Another year of Westbrook being shit. Bro.
Okay.
He was disgusting in that series. Disgusting. I do not know how people can watch this guy and the fight that he caused and all that. I understand who's like an aggressive... I always compare it to like MJ. MJ was an aggressive... but he was efficient. This guy, please, Russell, take a shot. Take a jump shot. Because you... destroy the backboard every time you shoot, bro. He's just so bad to watch.
See, that's somebody I'd rather not have on my team.
Oh, I just don't understand how anyone wants him on the team. That series is another vindicating series for me. When he was at his peak, okay. But once he started to decline, man, ugly.
Disgusting.
Ugly. And he's not even willing to turn into like a Bruce Brown.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's not a good enough shooter to be a bit like that, but just like calm down.
Yeah.
And I reckon if he calmed down, he would, like find like a couple of spots that he doesn't have
he doesn't have the spot.
He doesn't have a spot anymore. Yes, he can get a layup here and there, but he doesn't have a spot that you can't stop a shot from.
Yeah.
Like a TJ McConnell. Look at him.
Because he relied so much on his athleticism, right? He would go up to the key. He would run up, go up to the key, bang, off the corner. That key corner free throw kind of thing. Do that consistently, but no, he doesn't have it completely. He's trying to like hit it off the backboard or
I hate watching him.
It's disgusting.
Sorry, I just had to get a few of those off my chest.
Because when the time counts, we're always measuring everybody by their success in the playoffs. You had another chance to show it off because the story... The come around story was good again. Like, hey, he's kind of found his feet. He's at home. Maybe he might not get Vetman. He'll get something a bit more.
Yeah. All right. So much to talk about. We'll be back next week, and I think the Nuggets might be out by then.
Yeah, maybe. We'll see.
I think that their next game actually isn't for 3 days.
Yeah, 3 days because they started so early.
Yeah, so maybe they won't be out. Maybe they will.
Yeah. Anyway.
All right. Thanks, and we'll talk to you next week.
Bye.